Aniya Mack was not drifting through life. She was building one. By 2018, at just 24 years old, Aniya had already stacked her days with purpose. She was a psychology student in Kalamazoo, Michigan, drawn to understanding people, drawn to helping them. Friends described her as driven but warm, disciplined but deeply social. She stayed connected, she showed up, she planned ahead. The future wasn't abstract to her, it was something she was actively working toward. She had recently started a new job working with children on the autism spectrum. It mattered to her. It wasn't just employment, it was alignment. The kind of work that made sense for who she was becoming. Then, abruptly, the rhythm of her life stopped. On June 24, 2018, Aniya went silent. No calls, no replies, no casual check-ins. For someone known to be consistent, the absence was alarming. When she missed work, twice, concern turned into fear. This wasn't someone taking space, this was someone gone. When police were finally called to her apartment complex in Kalamazoo days later, the scene raised immediate red flags. Aniya's car was still there, but the license plates had been removed. Nearby, another vehicle sat with her plates attached, a detail that suggested planning, not coincidence. Inside her apartment, everyday life appeared interrupted mid-motion. Lights were on, items were left behind, essentials untouched. This was not a woman who packed up and disappeared. Investigators began looking closely at the person closest to her, her boyfriend, Donovan Lewis. Their relationship had not been quiet or simple. Police records showed prior domestic incidents, arguments that escalated, moments where boundaries were crossed and then explained away. Like so many stories before it, the warning signs existed, but they lived in the background, normalized, absorbed, endured. Early in the morning of June 28, 2018, police located Lewis near the apartment complex. What happened next ended the search. Lewis told officers he had killed Aniya. He led them to her body in a creek in nearby Comstock Township. The discovery confirmed what her family already feared, but were not prepared to accept. Aniya Mack was dead. The details that followed were devastating. Her life had not ended quietly or accidentally. It had been taken by someone who knew her routines, her trust, her hopes. Someone who had been close enough to dismantle everything she was building. The question people always ask, why, never has a clean answer. There was no robbery, no stranger, no random violence. What emerged instead was the familiar, chilling pattern of control, conflict, and escalation. A force embodied by a person who could not tolerate losing access, losing power, losing her future if it did not include him. Lewis was arrested and charged with murder. In 2019, he pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. The sentence followed, 25 to 40 years in prison. In court, Aniya's family spoke about who she was beyond the headlines. A daughter, a sister, a friend who stayed in touch. A young woman whose progress was hard-earned and deliberate. Her mother could not bring herself to sit in the room with the man responsible. The weight was too great. Some losses cannot be witnessed twice. Aniya Mack's story is not only about how a life ended, it is about how a life was derailed. She did everything society tells young women to do. She studied, she worked, she loved, she tried to navigate conflict without abandoning herself. And still, she was taken by someone who turned proximity into a weapon. Her death did not happen in isolation. It exists within a larger pattern of intimate partner violence that so often hides behind familiarity until it is irreversible. What remains is the echo of what should have been, a career unfolding, a life expanding, a future that never arrived. Aniya Mack fought for her life in quiet ways every day, and she deserved to keep it.